Hello and welcome. I'm in spectator mode right now, so I can show you some things about our world. So here's our mining operation that you've seen in a few videos now. Both levels of it and the giant lava pit. So you may have been wondering how we have this enormous cave in our world. It's actually a few hundred blocks tall. As you can see, my coordinates, we're at 170, 200, and we're not even halfway up this thing. This cave is over 500 blocks tall, and our actual world height is over 2,000 blocks tall, a little bit over. So you can see here is our world spawn. It is a very nice little area, nice little hill, and then you turn around and you realize there's giant mountains here and a giant valley. And the mountains are actually realistic with snowy peaks. So we came up this mountain after spawning in. That was the world spawn there. Tried to get to higher and or level ground. Found a ancient ruined portal, lit it, went through that. Got some stuff out of the chests. We built our first starter base over here. Then we went to the larger Snow Peak mountain over here. You can see we have a ton of sheep because we need them for airships. We have our first attempt at an airship. This does work, however, it is super painstakingly slow. So we don't really use it for much other than just learning how to play around with flight. Here's some of our first contraptions, learning how to pump water, learning how to get rotational force, use it for things. Built an automated tree farm, so this will harvest and plant. And then going into our base here, the mountain base that you're all familiar with. But mostly what we're doing right now is showing you this crazy world. So that mountain, we are 1,200 blocks up and we're not even close to the top of it. The mountain that we reside in and call home is actually a little over 1,600 blocks tall. The world build height in our world is 2,048 blocks, I believe. And how we achieve this is a data pack called JJ Thunder to the max. There are other data packs like Tectonics and things that do similar world generation where you get a much higher build limit and crazy world generation. I really liked JJ Thunder to the max, so that's what we went with. And you can see how this just goes on for forever. So you can see that's our mountain behind us. And in front of us, it just goes super far. Teleporting farther this way, you can see as I get lower, we have distance horizons as well, so that's why at a distance the quality is lowered, so I can actually load things. But just this huge marshland swamp, absolutely amazing. And you can see from that jungle to marsh to actually very watery swamp, and then slowly leads into actual ocean biomes down here and plains. Everything looks amazing. Let me just get lower. So if you look up there, that is our mountain where we live in. Over there is the taller mountain, which is just under 2,000 blocks tall. You can just see these massive mountains in this terrain. Just looks incredible. Now the only complaint I have with JJ Thunder to the max is but over here you'll see floating villages, floating outposts, things like this. I don't think JJ Thunder to the max handles world generated structures well, because even like mine shafts will spawn in floating in the giant caves, and so I think that still needs some work. But otherwise, absolutely incredible. Like you can see there's a bunch of villages and things floating out in the water. But otherwise, this is absolutely incredible. I mean, look at these. You come off the mountains and there's just these giant rolling plains. And they look absolutely incredible. The land is actually sloped and staggered towards the water like it would be in real life. You have these huge cliffs and mountainsides off in the distance. The world generation just looks absolutely incredible. So we thought this would be really cool. And we're playing with a bunch of create mods. So we basically used Minecraft to build a real life simulator. As the mountains being 2,000 blocks tall means in reality they're, you know, thousands of feet tall. I'll put the math on the screen. And because of that, so like just from our mountain bases, basically at world spawn, we are already, you know, thousands of blocks away and just barely out of the mountains. And our coastline base is way over there, still a few thousand blocks away. And so we need some serious transportation. So we added Waystones. So I can show you what a Waystone is. They look like these things. You've seen them in our other worlds. And you can link them up. So coastal base, 6,580 meters or blocks from here. And with one click, you're there. Absolutely amazing. Josh's mine, click it, and you're there. So we have a Waystone down here in the mine. But yes, anyway, that is our crazy world and some of the mods that we have on it. I will show a scrolling thing right now with all the mods we have. So those are all of our mods that we use on this server, and you know, stick around if you want to see us build some crazy contraptions. So even with the Waystones, we still are planning to build some sort of transportation system between the bases just for it to be cool. Waystones is how we'll get around regularly, but we have plans to build large-scale airships with factories inside of them, small super fast airships and planes and helicopters for scouting out new areas. We are planning to build a network of trains for cargo and for passengers, and all sorts of crazy stuff. In one of the other videos you'll have heard me talking about, we want to build a huge mining machine. I'll put a picture of the real life thing on screen right here. Bagger 288. So we would like to build a version of that, and then we also have plans to build the Big Muskie. Here's a picture of that on screen right now as well. Neither of these mining machines are going to be built inside the cave. One, because they're absolutely enormous and I don't have a level place to build them. And two, we want them to basically be able to mine a mountain into non-existence. Don't know how well that'll go or if it'll crash or destroy the server, but we're going to try it anyway. So if you want to see that crazy crap built, all built in survival and used in survival, stay tuned, because that's coming not super soon, because it will take a while to do all that, but not super far away either, as mining, even just with this machine, we're getting thousands of blocks a minute. Just one mining trip is over 100,000 items. So you can imagine we're going to have the resources to build these massive machines very soon. The biggest struggle will be organizing all of that material and then building massive factories to actually get us a large enough supply of all the things we're going to need. Because we're going to need tons of crushing wheels, tons of iron, tons of brass, copper, andesite, everything. So we're going to be building tons of factories and tons of storage systems to even attempt to build the Bagger 288 or the Big Red Muskie. Hopefully we'll build both of those eventually. I think the Bagger 288 is actually going to be easier to build because the ropes on it in real life are obviously, well, one, they're not rope, they're giant chains and steel cables, but in real life they're used to actually kind of control the angle of the arm and all that. But in Minecraft, I think we can get away faking that a little bit. We can use the ropes for it, obviously, but if there's problems with that, we can just kind of fake it. Whereas with the Big Red Muskie, It's literally a bucket drugged by chains and ropes and things, so that's going to be a lot harder to fake. So we really have to actually get it to work. And that means it's basically two separate machines. We have a mining machine bucket and then a giant machine that moves it around on ropes and chains and things. So that's going to be interesting to say the least. So we are going to have to see how that goes and if it actually works or not. So stay tuned to seeing us try to struggle through figuring out how to do that. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.